نبتدي واحنا كلنا مشتاقين وطواقين سماع هذه الكلمة. فارس احمد بنتي، واخيرا الطبيبه والابنه دينا فكري. في نهاية الجلسة نتناول جميعا مع بعض طعام المحبة والمشروب مع بعض كلنا كأسرة واحدة. نبدأ بجلسة الطلاب وهي في رأيي من أهم الجنسات. اتفضل. أول واحد هيتكلم. اتفضل. رمضان عبد القادر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My name is Ramadan Abdel, and we will talk about one of the potential important topics which are PPARs. PPARs mean Peroxisome Proliferator-Activated Receptors. دلوقتي عايزين نعرف ليه سموهم PPARs. سموا كده according to the PPAR alpha which was the first PPAR discovered in hepatic, increasing volume and density peroxisome. Peroxisome عبارة عن organelles that responsible for getting rid of waste products. What are the types of PPARs? There are three types of nuclear families of PPAR, which PPAR alpha and PPAR beta, delta, and PPAR gamma. كلهم share the same chemical sequence وموجودين كلهم في all mammalian species, but PPAR alpha only related to hepatic peroxisome proliferation. ايه الاورجن ديستريبيوشن اوف PPAR؟ PPAR كلهم موجودين في all organs in the body, but PPAR alpha موجود abundantly موجود في السكيلتال ماسل، موجود في البراون اديبوس تيشو، موجود في الهارت، موجود في الليفر، موجود في الكدني، موجود في الدندريتك سيل اوف سي ان اس. PPAR بيتا او دلتا عليه برضه موجود abundantly، موجود في البين، موجود في الاديبوس تيشو، موجود في السكن. PPAR جاما عليه برضه موجود abundantly في الوايت اديبوس تيشو، موجود في الهارت، موجود في السكيلتال ماسل، موجود في الكدني، موجود في السبلين، موجود في البنكرياس، ومهمات في البنكرياس عشان نشوفها في الثيرابيوتيك يوزز اوف PPARs. ايه الميكانيزم اوف اكشن اوف PPARs؟ ميكانيزم اوف اكشن PPAR بداية لما يجي واتس ليجند اتاتش تو its specific PPAR او nuclear receptor PPAR يحصل conformational change which is cell specific change، وده leads to heterodymerization مع ريسبتور يسموه retinoid X receptor. ولما يحصل الهيتروdymerization ده بيليد to dissociation of chloroplethora protein اللي هو بيعمل repression او suppression على gene expression، وبالتالي الكومبلكس لما الكومبلكس يحصل اكتيفيشن اللي هو الليجند بلس PPAR بلس retinoid X receptor يحصل لهم اكتيفيشن، يحصل ريكروتمنت الكو اكتيفيتور بروتين اللي هم بيزودوا الجين اكسبريشن وبالتالي كروماتين ريلاكسيشن اند جين اكسبريشن وبروتين سينثيسيس. ايه هي الPPAR agonist؟ الPPAR agonist there is two types of PPAR agonist. Endogenous agonist which mean physiological agonist and exogenous agonist اللي هي drugs. الانdogenous agonist فيه free fatty acid فيه eicosanoids، اما exogenous agonist لقينا الفايبريت بتاكتيفيت PPAR alpha and PPAR gamma بتاكتيفيت PPAR glutazones and some types of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like endomethacin and curcumin. بعد ما عرفنا general info عن PPAR سواء كانت names سواء كانت types and organ distribution and mechanisms of action، عايزين نعرف ايه هي therapeutic uses of PPAR، وده اللي هنشوفه ان شاء الله دلوقتي مع زميلتي دينا.
As we know, a number of risk factors for cardiovascular disease tend to occur together. including diabetes and blood lipid abnormalities. And under diabetes falls a whole set of micro and macrovascular complications. Consequently, there has been a search for drugs that might address all these risk factors and complications at once. Fortunately, PPARs seem to meet this criteria, mainly through affecting metabolism. Regarding lipid metabolism, PPARs exert their effect through increasing synthesis of proteins involved in lipid synthesis, lipid metabolism, and thus lowering the triglycerides levels in blood, while substantially increasing HDL levels and lowering the LDL levels. In addition, activation of PPAR gamma is responsible for the efflux of cholesterol from macrophage foam cells to be transported by the HDL particles from the endothelium of the blood vessels to the liver. While at the same time, the activation of PPAR alpha speeds up this process. As we can see, the cholesterol vesicles inside the macrophage foam cells. Thereby, the use of PPAR alpha and gamma agonists have shown improved cardiovascular outcomes in terms of prevention of development of atherosclerosis and reduction in the incidence of myocardial infarction. Moreover, evidence has suggested that PPAR delta activation results in increased lipolysis in adipose tissue. It is also believed to switch the body's fuel preference from glucose to lipids through muscle fiber switching towards the slow oxidative type 1 fibers, from the glycolytic fibers to the oxidative fibers. PPAR delta agonists are commonly used in metabolic syndrome, which, as we know, is characterized by inability to efficiently deal with glucose in the body. Ironically, PPAR delta agonists seem to work. And of course, not to be forgotten, the prevention and treatment of obesity. Moving on to the glucose metabolism. In addition to the favorable effects on lipid profiles, activations of PPARs has been suggested to exert an anti-diabetic effect. Agonism of PPAR gamma increases insulin sensitivity through inducing the expression of the insulin-dependent glucose transporter form. It is also believed to have a protective role on pancreatic beta cells. Accordingly, the clinical use of PPAR agonists in diabetes and other diseases featuring insulin resistance has shown significantly improved glucose profiles. Among the commonly used insulin sensitizing drugs are the glitazones, mainly pioglitazone, brand named as Actus, and Avanti. However, Avanti has now been withdrawn across the globe for being associated with strongly associated with cardiovascular risks that will be further discussed later. And now I leave you with Sarah, who will discuss other uses of PPAR. Thank you.
الاسم بس يطلع يقول الاسم فضلكم. انت دينا مش كده؟ عشان اللجنه بتقيم كلكم طبعا اكثر ممتازين، بس يا ريت يقول الاسم. منين؟ سارة. الابنه سارة رؤوف ابراهيم. لحضرتك كنت دينا مش كده؟ ثانك يو. اتفضل.
Good morning. I will discussing the anti-inflammatory action of PPAR alpha. It has been found that PPAR alpha decreases nitric oxide sensitivity. Also, in human aortic smooth muscle, it decreases interleukin-6, tumor necrotic factor alpha, and gamma interferon. Also, decrease prostaglandin and decrease the expression of cyclooxygenase enzyme type 2. In addition, it has been found that PPAR alpha agonists induce apoptosis and inhibit accumulation of macrophages in the endothelial cell. Fenofibrate. As one example of the PPAR alpha agonist is the fenofibrate. The action of fenofibrate as anti-inflammatory has been found that independent on action on its action on lipid and glucose metabolism. Now we'll see the interference between the PPAR alpha agonist and the glucocorticoid effects. Glucocorticoids activate PPAR alpha during stress and fasting. But recently we find that PPAR alpha itself activates modulates the action of glucocorticoid. This is by enhance the anti-inflammatory action of glucocorticoid and decrease the side effect of glucocorticoid by decrease glucocorticoid response element derived genes. To use this interference between glucocorticoid and PPAR alpha agonist, so we use them in ulcerative colitis. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The next please. اسم الدكتور
عبد المنعم.
رحاب عبد المنعم. اتفضلي يا دكتور رحاب.
I'll be discussing the role of PPAR gamma in cancer. First of all, we must know that the growth of any tumor depends on angiogenesis. So what is angiogenesis? Angio means blood vessel. Genesis means formation. So angiogenesis means formation of new blood vessels by proliferation of endothelial cells from pre-existing capillaries. PPAR gamma ligand receptor inhibits this process and also increases the sensitivity of tumor to anti-cancer drugs. Moving on the mechanism by which PPAR inhibits angiogenesis. PPAR have a direct effect on tumor endothelial cells and indirect effect on angiogenic and anti-angiogenic mediators. Directly by suppression of growth factor-induced differentiation and proliferation of endothelial cells, stimulation of space-mediated apoptosis, and also have a pro-apoptotic effects for production of nitric oxide. Example on angiogenic mediators, vascular endothelial growth factor receptor signaling pathway. Is PPAR gamma only have a role in carcinogenesis? No, we have discovered that PPAR beta or delta have also a role in cancer. For example, activation of skin carcinogenesis. Now my colleague Alia will discuss the role of PPAR gamma in another inflammatory disease.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be talking about rheumatoid arthritis and the role of PPAR in it. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic inflammatory autoimmune disease that involves primarily the synovial structures and the articular membranes in multiple joints. Because of PPAR's effects on lipid metabolism, angiogenesis, inflammation, interference with glucocorticoid effects, as well as gender dimorphism, it makes it a potential role in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is characterized by accelerated atherosclerosis and impaired lipid profile in which there is increased triglyceride levels, decreased HDL levels, and increased oxidized low-density lipoprotein concentration. As mentioned earlier, the lipid modifying properties of PPARs could improve the impaired lipid profile observed in rheumatoid arthritis patients. Now, the anti-inflammatory action of PPAR agonists with relevance to rheumatoid arthritis. It has been found that PPARs reduce interleukin-6, interleukin-8, granulocyte monocyte coiling stimulating factor, as well as they reduce the mononuclear cell infiltration and the planus formation in the inflamed joints. كمان لقوا ان هما they repress interleukin 17 and interferon gamma expression. All of these data taken together suggests or proves that PPAR agonists could be evaluated as modulators of the inflammatory response observed in rheumatoid arthritis. Angiogenesis is a characteristic feature of rheumatoid arthritis. It is essential for planus formation and the leukocyte migration. As mentioned previously, the role of PPAR agonists on angiogenesis is controversial and depends mainly on the local cytokine and growth factor balance. آخر حاجة sexual dimorphism and autoimmune disease. As we all know, autoimmune diseases are more common in females in compared to males. لقوا إن PPAR receptors موجودين أكتر في الميل من الفيميل. ولما عملنا genetic removal of PPAR receptors من الميل لقينا إن في increased levels of tumor necrosis factor alpha and interferon gamma اللي هما key mediators في inflammatory response. This indicates in the abundance of PPAR receptors in male lowers their probability to acquire an autoimmune disease. Thank you. I leave you with my colleague Paris and side effects of PPAR.
So now that we're familiar with the effects of PPAR activation, we're going to talk a little about the side effects. Okay, so now that we're familiar with the effects caused by PPAR activation and their potential in treating a wide array of disorders, we're going to take a look at the side effects, starting with PPAR alpha patients. Hyperlipidemic patients treated with PPAR alpha agonists as fibrates have been reported of having an increase in incidence of myopathies and rhabdomyolysis. PPAR gamma patients suffering from type 2 diabetes mellitus treated with any member of the glitazone family, especially rosy glitazone, which is marked under the brand name Avandia, have reported suffering from an increased incidence of myocardial infarctions, which led to Avandia's eventual withdrawal from marketplaces such as Europe and South Africa and New Zealand in the year 2011. Gamma activation also causes a certain degree of edema and consequent weight gain, which is probably because of their direct action on sodium channels in the collecting tubule. Other than that, PPAR activation has been confirmed to be hepatotoxic, carcinogenic, and teratogenic. Starting with the hepatotoxic manifestations of PPAR agonists, patients treated with fibrates have been reported having a slight elevation of liver enzyme levels, which wasn't a real concern until rare cases started developing hepatocellular carcinoma, which was automatically linked to the use of fibrates. Type 2 diabetes patients treated with glitazones, especially troglitazone, which was the first glitazone discovered and marked under the name Resilin, have suffered from a marked elevation of liver enzyme levels that eventually led to cases of acute liver failure, which eventually led to troglitazone's withdrawal back in the year 2000. Beta or delta activation has been confirmed to stimulate proliferation of hepatic stellate or ETO cells, which leads to aggravation of fibrosis. Maybe the area with the most controversial and unsettled debates is PPAR's potential carcinogenicity. PPAR alpha agonists have been observed to cause a certain degree of hepatocellular carcinoma, along with a specific pattern researchers called a tumor triad, which was observed in lab animals, including hepatocellular carcinoma, along with testicular cancer and pancreatic acid cell cancer. However, no human data is available on whether or not this pattern can occur in humans. PPAR gamma's carcinogenic potential is still under wide debate, yet recent researchers have suggested that they could have a role in inducing bladder carcinomas or even osteosarcoma. Beta or delta activation is still highly controversial, with contradicting evidences on whether or not they inhibit or induce tumor development. Yet they have been linked. To colorectal cancers because they have been observed to be highly expressed in human colonocytes in colorectal cancers. Yet contradictory evidences on whether or not they induce colorectal cancers. There is no proof that they induce or inhibit colorectal cancers, so their role is either beneficial or harmful, or even both. Teratogenic effects of PPAR activation. The use of fibrates during pregnancy we have seen that they cause atypical changes to maternal and fetal liver, probably due to the peroxisome proliferative and lipid catabolic effects. Gamma activation during pregnancy by the glycosome family, they are classified as category C drugs, which means that they have caused abnormalities in test animals, yet no evidence of their teratogenicity in humans is available. PPAR beta or delta activation by valproic acid they cause neural tube defects through valproic acid, which manifests in conditions as spina bifida, anencephaly, and encaphalocele, seeing that valproic acid does indeed activate PPAR beta or delta receptors, and that non-teratogenic derivatives of valproic acid have not succeeded in activating PPAR beta. And that's all for the adverse effects. I'd just like to thank Dr. Shireen Wasfi for her continuous support and blind faith she put in all of us, and Dr. Iman Abdelmenem for her patience and supervision throughout the process, and of course Dr. Mona Othman for allowing our participation in this conference, and a special thanks to our colleague Ramadan Abdel for all his efforts and for introducing new possibilities by which we could present our
موضوع البابار جامد. المجموعة الأخرى هتتكلم على السيتاجليبتين جلوكاجون لايك بيبتايدز، اسمه التجاري جانوفيا، متوفر في الأسواق المصرية. ما